So the tractor's back there warming up. I figured I'd go over a couple things first. And he's out here working on his bike jump, his little track he's got. So obviously saw how smoky it was at startup. That was the third time of cycling the key. For everybody that's gonna comment and shit on me about, oh, you gotta use your glow plugs and whatever. Like I said, it's like 35 degrees out this morning. It's supposed to be a high of 50 today. No real reason to have it plugged in yet, but typically, you know, when it does get down here in temperature, that's the first thing to do is plug the block heater in, and the starts are not nearly as smoky and stuff, you know, when it's actually plugged in and warmed up. So that is pretty important for everyone in the northern climates, or I guess if you're out west in the desert areas or whatever, it gets cold at nights too, but warm during the day. Plugging in overnight definitely does help quite a bit. There's that mini shovel by the garage, right? Okay. There you go. Much better. Alright. That should be plenty warmed up by now. We'll check the temperature gauge here. Yeah, she's on her way up. So I'll get the tripod set up and get after it. So the camera doesn't pick it up great, but I've already kind of brush hogged this whole area out, but as you can see by the size of some of these, they're a little bigger than a brush hog kind of wants to take care of. Even up here 5 feet off the ground, it's it's still my whole hand width to get around, right? So a little more than the brush hog wants. So I'm gonna get a lot of this dug out, and I'm hoping to try to move some of it out here in the open of the field. At least get as much stuff knocked down as I can, so that when we get my dad's 2038R over here with the grapple on it, we'll get it all piled up. Now, my main reason for doing a lot of this is we've got a lot of nice trees in here. There's a bunch of these maples that are about 1.5 feet in diameter or so, and I just want to open this whole area up. We've also got the remains of an old rock wall here. I'd like to be able to get to this a little better and just make the property a lot more useful. So we'll get this, once I get this area cleared, I'll get the land plane out here, grade the whole thing flat, and then I'm not gonna worry about seeding it, but hopefully for next year, we get some grass starting to grow in. So let's get at it. Now I think you're starting to see why I want to get the grapple on that 2038R over here so bad. Moving brush around with just the bucket wasn't very easy. One of the reasons I love clearing brush like this is exploring and finding some of the old stuff you find in the woods. Unfortunately, not all of it's good, because this used to be an old farm once upon a time ago. So, like that white bucket in there, there's more trash, like tarp-like stuff in there. You know, unfortunately, a lot of the old farmers used to just bury stuff and throw it on the land. But every once in a while you do find some cool stuff, like this bush growing through the bucket. That's pretty neat. But we're making good progress. So it's kind of difficult to see possibly on the camera here. But right about where we're standing was the brush line. You can kind of see this actually beat down path right here is where we've been riding dirt bikes and stuff quite a bit, and that came right out around the brush. So really, from about where I'm standing, you know, you can see here where it's been cut in quite a ways. I mean, we're probably in 30-some feet. And then looking this way, it curves out and around here, coming out to approximately where some of this small stuff is that I'm not really going to waste my time digging out right now. This little scraggly stuff right here. So, you know, this just come out to here, and we're in probably 40 or so feet here. So, you know, for the past 2 hours worth of work, including a half-hour lunch break or so, we've really been making pretty good progress. I think what I'm going to do next is I've got to go tune an LS swapped El Camino, and while I'm out to the shop doing that, I think I'm going to grab my dad's York rake, throw it in the back of my truck, and see if that'll help pick up a lot of this stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's loose now from tearing this up, but it's just, you know, not something you want to sit here and pick up by hand, right? So if I drag York rake around a little bit, and I got a bunch more brush that's down here that, again, if I had the grapple, it would be a big help. But if I can get a lot of this cleaned up, I might even be able to start dragging the land plane around later and getting the whole area smoothed out a little bit, which would be nice, because like, there's a lot of times, like when you're doing this brush stuff, you've got the loader up pretty high, you know, just that way your brush isn't, like right now I've got that up, you know, the stump's in the bucket, but I still got a lot of tree dragging on the ground. So there's times where you end up with your loader a lot higher than you probably should have, and it's pretty rough, uneven ground right now, you know, so it gets a little sketchy. But we're getting a pretty good sized brush pile here, so I'll make one hell of a bonfire before winter. Let's finish this up. Well, that's going to be it for today on clearing all the brush over here. I've got my dad lined up for this weekend to come by with his tractor and the grapple, and we're going to make some more progress. So in the meantime, I'm going to continue working here, building a dirt jump for him for the bike, and that'll be it until tomorrow.